What's up, my bitches? Um, if you hear some background noises, it is very nice out and the kids are playing outside.
Not just the kids. That'd be two adult husbands,
Children.
children. Yeah. So, welcome back to Minors and Mayhem, a true crime podcast where minors become murderers. I am Eden, and with me is my wonderful daughter Brianna.
Hi.
Um, so we met. I don't know if you met her, but I met. We were in Deadwood last weekend, and
And that is why we did not post an episode last weekend. We couldn't say anything the week before because it could have spoiled it, and it was a surprise 50th birthday party for my dad.
yes.
Sorry.
So anyway, so I met this really nice lady. Me and my son did. Her name is Nikki. She's from Spearfish, and we met her in Deadwood. So, hi, Nikki. Want to shout you out? She's one of our new listeners.
I wish I could have met you.
Oh, she was great. She gives off a very high energy vibe and just a good.
Ooh.
She's one of those people that just make you feel good. She was a wonderful lady. But enough with the banter because I have the elephant in the pod lab that we're going to address right now. So we have had feedback concerning the banter that we do. Some people like it, some people don't. So, in honor of compromise,
Basically, I have to shut my mouth.
well, me too. So, in honor of compromise, what we have decided we're going to do from today on out, we are going to keep the banter whenever we feel like it, but we are going to put it at the end. So, those of you that don't want to listen to the banter, at the end of the case, you can stop so you don't have to listen. Those of you that like the banter can stay tuned and listen to it. So
Yeah.
that's the plan.
Sounds good.
And today we have, in honor of, keep moving here, we have our glorious pickle shots.
Oh, yeah.
We've got to do the pickle shot. And this is our.
And it's a big jar this time, or a big bottle this time.
Yes, it is.
But we have shot glasses, so it's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a frog thing. What episode are we on?
We are on episode 27.
So in honor of 27, let's do our shot. Here's episode 27. Ooh. Oh, those never get old.
No.
No. Oh, I might need a refill after a while.
When I first tasted it, it almost tasted like the spicy, but then I swallowed it and then it was...
I don't know if you noticed, but I have a DD this time, so I'm golden.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you got for true crime news?
In true crime news, we have a 34-year-old Indiana woman sentenced to 30 years in prison for abusing and killing her daughter. On November, and I didn't want to leave you hanging like I did last time, so I went into it just a wee little bit more. On November 23rd, 2022, a 19-month-old little girl was taken to a local hospital.
19 months?
Yep. And then flown to another hospital where she succumbed to her injuries, which included a brain bleed, a broken collarbone, and a swollen and deformed head and other bruising. The 34-year-old mother claimed the 19-month-old would have been the next Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's why she killed her?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
For more information on this case and other true crime news, you can go to truecrimedaily.com. I didn't like that one, but...
A 19-month-old baby you torture and abuse because you think that it's going to be the next Jeffrey Dahmer.
I know what word you're going to say. Sorry, Brad. She mouthed it. So...
Okay.
I'm going to pop this real quick.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So we can make the noise at the same time.
What are we going to do today?
We are doing...
So much for the same time.
Oh, sorry. You asked me a question. We are doing Amy... I don't know if it's Weidner or Weidner. So I'm going to go with Weidner because that's how it looks to me.
Okay.
So Amy Weidner.
Well,
Weidner. Weidner.
Weidner.
Weidner. Weidner.
Weidner.
That's
what I would go for.
Okay. So that's where we're going. So we're going to Indianapolis, Indiana, back to the year 1989. And Indianapolis is huge. In 2020, the census showed 887,642 residents, making it the 16th. That was a basketball to the door. Making it the 16th most populated city in the United States.
16th?
Yep.
Dang.
Indianapolis is home of the Colts from the NFL, the Pacers, the NBA, and annually hosts the Indianapolis 500 for all of you racing fans.
Indy 500.
The Indy 500. Events in 1989 included George H.W. Bush being sworn in as the 41st President of the United States. Ted Bundy was executed in Florida by the electric chair, old Sparky. And the deadliest earthquake since 1906 struck the central coast of California. Fashion trends in 1989 included bright colors, oversized clothing, I got tongue-tied, sorry, trench coats, shoulder pads, I'm so glad those aren't a thing, neon colors, and distressed jeans.
Interesting.
I'm going to take a drink and we're going to go straight into it.
Alrighty. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That was my very poor impression of Matthew McConaughey.
Nice. On April 10th, 1973, Amy Weidner was born to Irvin and Gloria Weidner. She was their second child, coming 1 year after her brother John Paul, who goes by JP, so that is how I will refer to him for the rest of this episode. 1 year after Amy's arrival, along came her little sister Tanya, and then 3 years later, along came Cassandra, who goes by Cassie. Unfortunately, Irwin and Gloria's marriage resulted in a divorce, leaving Gloria to become a single mother of 4 children, which I could only imagine was so overwhelming. I did too, and I was overwhelmed. Could you imagine 4?
Mm-mm.
But these were good kids, wonderful kids. Amy was described as being quiet, respectful, and very easy to get along with. She took her education very serious. She was an honor student, a member of the French and math clubs. She played the clarinet in the school band. Whoops! I'm so sorry. Oh, Jesus. In the school band. Oh, gosh. I'm not editing
Oh
that
my
out.
God.
Oh, God. And was a cheerleader for the school's wrestling team. She was an amazing, just all around young lady, but she was hiding a secret.
Oh boy.
A huge secret for about 5.5 months. One day, Amy approached her mom and she was just in tears, crying. And she said, "Mommy, I don't want you to hate me."
Oh, is she gay?
No.
Oh.
Of course, her mom said she could never hate her and asked her what was going on. And it was at this time that Amy revealed at the young age of 14 that she was pregnant.
Oh.
Yep. Gloria was shocked, obviously, and even more shocked when she found out who the father was. He was 17 years old, which was quite a bit older than Amy, and he was actually a really good friend of her brother, JP, and his name was Tony Abercrombie. The family rallied around Amy and offered total support. Gloria made it clear that Tony was off limits and not a good influence in her life, and she did not want Amy to see him any longer. I couldn't find anything stating how Amy felt about this, but she did comply with her mother's wishes.
How did what did you say his name was? Tony?
Tony,
How did he take it? Did he know?
I believe he respected their wishes back at that time, but I couldn't find anything deep diving on that.
Dang.
So I don't know what the feelings were behind that. I wish I did, but because he is the father.
Right.
So yeah,
He should have a chance.
right. So I don't know how all that panned
Okay.
out. I couldn't
I was
find.
just curious.
Yeah, me too. I was very curious. Amy jumped into action. She went to school early every day in preparation for the time that she would have to miss when the baby was born. She was determined to keep up her grades and stay an honor student regardless of soon becoming a mother. Mm-hmm.
And this was in
This would have been
73?
no. Amy was born in
Born in
73. I'm
73.
sorry.
So this is 80,
This would be 87.
87.
So I'm gonna take a drink.
Kudos to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of, well,
We'll banter after.
I'll save it later.
Okay. Well, I don't think the banter, if it involves the case, I think it's okay. I think it's when we get off track, and
Oh, yeah.
so we'll stick
suppose.
to the case and we'll banter afterwards. Well, it's hard for us to adjust. We're trying. So that time came in October of 1987 when she welcomed into the world a little baby girl whom she named Emily. Now, how long do you suppose she stayed out of school?
I would hope at least what my maternity leave was like 8 weeks, 2 months.
In true rock star fashion, Amy returned to school just 6 days after giving birth. Yeah,
Oh, I could never.
no.
Because you're still in a good amount of pain.
6 days? You bet you are.
And she's 14?
14 years old. What a rock star.
Well, I mean, kids do bounce back a lot faster than us older people, but still,
in my mind, I'm thinking
that's a trauma to the body.
That's what I was thinking. Like in my mind, I'm thinking, are they even fully developed, like to give birth? I mean, I don't know. At 14,
well, yeah, because that's the whole thing about periods. The menstrual cycle is you are prepared to have a baby.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, she is still a baby.
She is a baby having a baby.
With her family supporting her, Amy really took to being a mother. It actually made her strive harder with her school studies, determined to make something of her life for herself and Emily. Gloria was really supportive. She made sure Amy still had a social life and still had time for her studies. Her family was just really all in at helping Amy, which is just amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
I feel like I should have a notebook to like write down what I want to say for later.
Right? They just rallied. Just rallied. Talk about
a
family right there.
Still giving her time to do her studies, which obviously is important, but
to still have a social
life.
Yes.
Kudos to those grandparents for being so there and supportive.
Yes.
Dang.
So on a little side note here, I just thought this was cute. It's not really pertinent, but it's not pertinent to the case, but I just wanted to share what kind of mother Amy was. One of Amy's friends was throwing a Halloween party, and Amy dressed up as the Jolly Green Giant, and Emily was dressed up as Sprout.
OMG.
And I did see a photo of this, and hopefully I can find it and make sure it's not copyrighted and I can put it on Facebook.
That reminds me of like me dressing up as the Queen of Hearts and dressing up my daughter as Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And you know, even that night at this Halloween party, nearing bedtime, so Amy could still socialize with her friends, Gloria went and picked up Emily when it was nearing Emily's bedtime and took Emily back and put her to bed and had Amy stay there to enjoy her friends. I mean, this family just really came together with this baby.
Wow.
This total.
I have so much I want to say.
Yes, I know. So on November 13th, 1989, Amy really just wasn't feeling well enough to go to school, and she decided she was going to stay home that day, which I'm assuming she probably really didn't feel good because as serious as this girl was about her studies and being an honor student, and I'm assuming she really felt like crap.
Well, yeah.
So Gloria offered to take Emily to the babysitter, but Amy wanted to keep Emily at home with her since she wasn't going to school, which is understandable. Um, Sometime mid-morning, I would say maybe guesstimating around 9:30, the exact time isn't known. Gloria called the house to check and see how Amy was doing, but this call went unanswered. Getting worried as Amy wasn't feeling well, oh, I'm sorry, I skipped. A little later, Gloria again tried to call, you know, a couple more times, and those calls also went unanswered. And Gloria was getting worried since Amy wasn't feeling well, so she actually called a neighbor and asked them to go check on Amy. The neighbor did so, only to call Gloria and inform her that Amy did not come to the door.
Mm.
Gloria immediately left work and headed for their home. What Gloria walked into was something no parent should ever, ever have to witness. Ever. Do you want me to take a small break so we can have another shot? Because I'm getting into it. We're going to take a tiny little shot break because Brianna doesn't seem very happy here. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want
Quickly,
nope.
quickly, so we can keep moving. Okay.
I don't think that was enough to continue. I'm just joking.
Well, you can pour us another one and we'll get ready for the after. So you pour while I talk. After searching the house for Amy, I'll wait until you pour. She found her. Sorry, I think I hit my microphone. I hope it's okay. Yeah, put a little more in mine. Yeah. Okay. She found Amy lying in a pool of blood on her bed, lifeless. The bedroom showed signs of massive, massive violence. Blood was on everything. Amy had been brutally beaten, raped, and eventually strangled to death. At the age of 2, Emily was not making clear sentences yet, but she was telling her grandma that she tried to lift Mamie, which is what she called her mom, Mamie, but she was too heavy, and that Mamie was mean, which they believe referred to the violent sounds of what she heard and or witnessed, because of right now, it's not known what she witnessed. But thank goodness Emily was unharmed. Police were called, and the crime scene was processed. They collected bedding, which appeared to have semen on it, and blood, of course, clothes, and hairs that were not consistent with Amy's or Emily's. And they even cut out a section of the wall that had a bloody palm print on it. Investigators questioned family, friends, classmates, neighbors, and of course, Tony Abercrombie, the father of Emily. And they came up with a theory that this was potentially a robbery gone wrong and was very targeted as the house was not ransacked, and the only thing of importance missing was a piece of JP's stereo equipment, leading them to believe that the person responsible for this horrific crime knew this stereo equipment was there and where it was at, so potentially had to have known the family. Also, at the time this crime was committed, under normal circumstances, the house would have been empty, with Gloria being at work, Emily at daycare, and Amy attending school. So that also possibly points to the perpetrator knowing the family schedule. Investigators exhausted every avenue and came up empty-handed. And slowly but surely, this case fizzled out with no new information to follow up on. In 2002, approximately 13 years later, a cold case detective went through the file, but also found nothing new to go on. Again, this case went cold.
Not the DNA, not the semen.
There was no DNA back then in 1987
Fudge.
or 89, excuse
But
me.
they saved it.
Yes,
Thank God.
let me get there.
I'm sorry.
You're jumping ahead.
Sorry.
That's okay. In 2011, this case was brought to the forefront again as one of the local papers published a write up about this crime. At this time, Amy's family and friends decided to make a Facebook remembrance page dedicated to Amy. Cold case investigators kept an eye on this Facebook page, looking through comments and seeing if any new information arose. And there were some pages of this Facebook that one of the investigators wanted to print off. But Facebook was relatively new, and that investigator had no idea how to get that to print. Well, it just so happened that Sergeant Bill Carter, who wasn't even a cold case investigator, nor was he a homicide detective, he worked in the nuisance and abatement department, which deals with laws, and he was familiar with printing from Facebook and was asked to help them print off the pages. The sergeant's interest was piqued, and he started poking around into this case, even though this is not his field,
Mm-hmm.
you know. For these interviews, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. He entered all of the case information into the computer system and started re-interviewing pertinent people. From these interviews, it was suggested that they may want to check into a guy named Rodney Dank, who lived in the neighborhood at the time of the crime and also happened to be a childhood friend of JP's. Rodney Dank, by this time, was married, divorced, with one son. Due to the divorce, he was back at home living with his mother. So this Sergeant Bill Carter, went to see Rodney, but he happened to not be at home at that time. So he left his number and asked that Rodney call when he returns home.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney called as soon as he received the message, and a time to meet was set up. When that meeting time came, Rodney was a no-show. Obviously, this puts up a cloud of suspicion on all sorts of levels, all different levels here. So Sergeant Bill Carter runs his name through their computer system, which shows in 1991, Rodney was charged with battery, and in 1997, he had a larceny charge. Of course,
What is larceny again?
theft.
Okay.
Of course, he was printed at the time of these charges. So Sergeant Bill Carter, excuse me,
So what's the difference between larceny and theft?
it's just a different term.
Really?
Larceny, it's more of a
Fancy word?
more of a law term. Yeah.
Mm.
Let's have this shot.
Oh, man.
So larceny and battery. Here we go. Cheers to it. Why are these tasting so good today?
I don't know.
Maybe it's because it's not that spicy, but I'm going to quit bantering about that right now. So Sergeant Bill Carter had the prints compared to the bloody print left on the wall of Amy's room. And no surprise here, what do you think?
It was a match.
It was an exact match. Next on the agenda is to locate Rodney, who obviously was hiding, but information led them to find out that he had rented a car. And using the rental car's GPS, they were able to track him to a friend's house on the east side. I don't know what east side is or where east side is. I don't know how far away it is. I didn't look.
East side of Indianapolis?
Not a clue.
I
Not
would
a clue.
assume, because this takes place in Indianapolis,
Yep.
so the east side of Indianapolis,
That would be
which would probably be
like a hot minute away.
20, 30, 40 minutes away,
Okay.
I would assume.
When they get to the friend's house and get Rodney to show his face, he comes out yelling, "I didn't do it."
Oh,
And he immediately slashed his wrists and proceeded to hold the knife up to his throat.
So they show up to the house.
They just show up to question him, just for an interview, man.
He didn't even know what they were gonna ask him. I didn't do it. Okay, well, hook, line, and sinker. Dumbass.
They were able, right? They were able to apprehend him and get him to the hospital where they conducted their interview. As suspected, Rodney knew the family and had been to their house several times before and after the crime. And he had also attended Amy's funeral. He stated, yes, he inserted himself there, which in many cases they do that. The
I know.
perpetrators go to the funeral, they go to the family, they show
go to
support,
the
they
search
go to the
parties.
search parties. So yes, and actually investigators were at the funeral because of this reason. So, I mean, back in 1989. Yeah, 89. So anyway, lost my spot. Give me a second. He stated in the interview that he was just after the stereo equipment and that when Amy came around the corner, he panicked and hit her over the head. And when she ran to her bedroom, he chased her.
Then why rape her?
Exactly. Exactly.
This was.
Exactly. His story changes a couple of times. He even insinuated that he was not alone, although evidence does not support anyone else being in the house at the time of the crime. So it would have had to possibly been someone just outside as a lookout. This has never been proven or disproved. Testing of Rodney's DNA against the semen found at the scene confirms that they had the right perpetrator. And in 2012, 23 years after the crime, Rodney Dank was sentenced to 65 years in prison after agreeing to a plea deal. Now, I'm going to give you a little shocking tidbit. Are you ready for this?
No.
Let's do one more shot because you're going to need it. Because you remember when I always say, oh, sometimes the apple never falls far from the tree?
Yeah.
Do you remember that he had a son?
Oh, Lord.
A little more than that. That's like a half a shot. Come on, girl.
Sorry.
He had a son. Right?
Right. What did he do?
Here we go. Those are tasting way too good.
What did he do?
At the age of 16, he murdered his mother with a baseball bat.
What?
Yes.
After the divorce?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Don't know. I didn't dig into that case.
Oh.
I mean, that's something we could do later. It's another murder case.
Well,
another minor murderer,
True.
16 years old.
True.
Don't even know his name, but I'm sure I could figure it out. Yep.
That should be your next case.
Should?
Yeah.
I can make that my next case.
It'd be like a sequence.
So those of you that don't want to hear the banter, that was the end of the case.
Whoa.
That was the end. Now, so for
he was sentenced to 65 years? That's
yes,
it?
65 years. Yes. He's in his 40s. He's going to die in prison. So those of you that don't want the banter and all of the questioning and stuff,
now's your time to stop.
to exit stage left. And I'm going to open the floor, Brianna. You had lots of questions that were in your mind.
And this is why I wanted a notebook. For one, kudos to the grandparents and
the siblings.
Yes, and
Amy.
To want to continue your education and to make a life for you and her child. Some 30-year-olds don't even do that.
I know, and she was
And this girl was 14 years old.
How mature. I guess motherhood became her.
She
At
was
14.
meant to be a mom.
I have a 14-year-old at home, and I couldn't even imagine it.
Oh, don't even say that.
I know,
That would
right?
be awful.
I had to have the talk with her the other day. I don't even want to, because she has a boyfriend now.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Who?
Well, I'm not going to say it on air.
I don't like it.
It's Nana and Papa's neighbor kid.
I don't like it.
He's a good kid.
I know, but I don't like it.
I know, but
I don't like
she's
her having
14.
a boyfriend.
What am I supposed to do?
Fudge. They're growing up too fast.
So I had to look at her, and
well, I guess I can't say much because
I literally looked her in the face, and she just went, "Ew, Mom." But I'm like, dude,
you have to know.
just listen. I'm not naive. I've been there. I've done that. I've already raised a daughter. When you decide, and in reality, we all want to dream that we wait for marriage, but in reality, are we gonna?
It don't fucking happen.
It doesn't happen.
Oh,
So
sorry, Brad.
So I told her, I said, listen, I'm not going to stop you from anything, but I am going to prevent you from unwanted pregnancy. I said, so if you
Did you tell her not to give in to peer pressure?
Yes. And I said, if you decide that you're thinking about it, please come to me. I will make an appointment. I will get you on birth control. I will teach you about spermicide. I will teach you all of that. Because I don't want anything to interfere, because she is not Amy mature.
No.
Not at all. Not by a long shot.
No.
She can barely take care of the dogs and cats. I mean, a child has no. So
well,
literally, that was my conversation 2 days ago with her. Now, don't tell Dad. He can't listen to this episode. He would have a heart attack.
My 14-year-old sister and this 14-year-old Amy, 2 different maturity levels.
Exactly.
My sister couldn't do it.
No.
You know who would end up doing it? But
I would. And I'm too freaking old for that crap.
Oh, Dad confirmed.
Dad confirmed what? That you're the favorite?
No. Well, yes.
He did not. He doesn't pick favorites.
He did too.
No. Was he drunk?
That's beside the point. But he said, so this is where I was going. He said that we're his favorites because if, heaven forbid, hey,
honey, we're recording.
Sorry. That if, heaven forbid, this ever flipping happens, he's like, we get the kids. Well, he said we get Eli, and I was like, no, I want both of them. He's like, you can have both of them.
Can confirm.
Because
they need stability.
My older brother, he would take them, but he's
a single dad.
He's a single dad.
Raising a little girl.
Basically on his own. But the other 2 oldest,
not a chance in hell.
They don't even have anything to do with them. And I don't want to say that. Well, one does, but
the other one is
they're suffering from other things that are overtaking their lives at the moment.
Yeah.
So you and Dad are the only ones that.
Yes. If anything happens to me, our 2 children go to you.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
But you better have a stable life. You have a stable life right now. It better stay that way.
Oh, it's going to.
I want my children stable.
It's going to be hard for Bubba to go home today.
Why?
He never wants to leave.
I know, but he misses me.
He does miss you.
I know he does. But he loves Dean. He loves Dean so
Oh,
much.
that little shite.
Oh, did he tell you Dean was his favorite and not you?
No.
What did he do?
He was like, he told Dean to tell me that he's only coming here to see me or to see him. And I was like, well, I know that's a lie because I know for a fact he comes to see me too. He's like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, yeah, don't even try to pull me on that because you ain't going to win.
He
I
just
can read through your bullshit.
He just loves Dean.
I don't get it.
I don't.
So we were at Ezra's tournament this past week, yesterday.
Mhm.
And Dean was like, Eli, you can't talk for 18 minutes, which is half of the quarter or one
That's
half
a long
of the
time
quarter.
for a 10-year-old.
He did it.
What?
He did it.
No way.
He did it because Dean said he couldn't do it.
If I
And
would
he
have told
was
him that,
like Dean would be like, hey, you gotta, you know, trying to get him to talk, whatever. And he would open my phone and go to my notes and type to communicate. And then I can't remember what their conversation was, but then he typed love you and showed it to Dean because they were talking. And I looked at it and I was like, and then he tapped on me and showed it to me. I was like, I love you too. He's such a
oh,
little honey.
he is.
He's so much fun.
I miss him when he comes to your house because he snuggles me, man. He sleeps with me in rain.
He's so much fun.
Oh, he's a blast.
Oh my god, he's just fun.
You know what?
Him and Ezra though, man, do they?
They butt heads so bad.
20 minutes.
They're like
Literally,
sister and brother,
they were
basically.
here for 20 minutes and they
Like
were
fighting
already
over it.
arguing. And I was like, you guys have spent literally 20 minutes together. Shut up.
I know. But it's so
Because we got a
funny
long weekend ahead of us.
because they want to be together all the time.
But then they butt heads.
But within the 10, 20 minutes of being together, they're like arguing. And it's like, oh, you
man.
two, they're just like brother and sister instead of uncle and niece.
Right?
Oh my God, they're
But
terrible.
it was so cute today. So Ezra was playing this game on Fortnite. Can't remember what it was. But I think Eli was out riding motorcycle. And Ezra called him
Oh, yeah,
in.
let me pause you for a minute. The next time he rides a motorcycle, can you please make him take off his pink sweatpants? Do you know how hard it is to get the dirt out of those? And I took a look. He's got them on right now because pink is the hot new color for guys right now.
Yeah.
And he had to have them. Yeah, there's dirt on them.
Yeah.
I don't know how many, and they're light pink.
So anyways, Ezra comes outside, or she says, just wait a minute. I'm going to go get my uncle. She goes out, gets Eli. He comes in, and she's sitting here telling him, yeah, this one's a bully. This one's being mean. He's like, which one? And she's like, the Hulk one. Eli puts on the headphones and gets on the controller, goes over to the Hulk. Hey, what's your deal? I was so shocked. I was like, kudos.
He's standing up for her.
Yeah. So even though they butt heads, they are super close.
Well, yeah. So those of you that don't know us, me and my husband decided to have a second child later in life. I was 40, almost.
Second.
What?
You said second child.
We decided to have a child together because we've got hers, his, and we wanted an ours. So at 42.
What do you mean?
Well, you're all ours. You know I don't.
Dad's mine.
Yes, exactly. I know. I understand that.
I know what you mean.
You're all our children, but we
Yes.
decided to have a biological child together.
Thank you.
Because I raised my kids by myself. He didn't get a chance to raise his two boys or his daughter. So we decided late in life that we were going to have another. So I was almost 43 when I had Eli.
Mm-hmm.
And Brianna was married. And at the time, her and her husband actually lived in the house with us because they were putting up their house at the time. So they needed a place to stay while their house was being put up. We
Fair
were
warning.
pregnant at the same time.
Fair warning. She's gonna deny it, but I know the truth, and everybody can confirm. I was the happy pregnant one. Just so y'all know.
Lies.
I told you.
It's lies.
You were not happy pregnant. You were miserable. Don't even try to deny it.
Just
Shut
at
up.
the beginning.
No. Oh, no.
At the beginning and the end. In the middle, I was happy.
I was gone by then.
You were gone by then. At the beginning, I was miserable. In
Oh my
fact, I didn't even
God.
know I was pregnant.
Yes, you did.
No, I lost my shit that night with your husband and my husband.
Yeah, but when
we were feeding the horses.
Right. But then when
I ran to the house through snowbanks in my slippers for fuck's
Right.
sakes.
I understand that. But you knew then I found out I was pregnant on Mother's Day. That was your Mother's Day present that year.
Right.
And we didn't move into our house till October. That following October.
Okay.
This bitch
Can I intervene just for a second
got
in my
so
defense?
mad.
Can I intervene in my defense?
When I'm done.
I was a longtime smoker. Not only was I pregnant, I had to cold turkey give up cigarettes as soon as I found out that I was pregnant. And I had been a 21-year smoker because there was 21 years between you and Eli. So yeah, I was bitchy at the beginning. I was in nicotine withdrawal and I was a 42-year-old pregnant. Yeah, I was messed up.
By your own choice. Okay, so I will have to say the doctor did tell them up to 3 years. Well, they're overachievers and got pregnant in 3 months.
Yes.
So mom didn't have that time to adjust at all.
I did not.
So I'll give you a little leniency on that part.
No adjustment. I'm thinking, okay, within 3 years, yeah, we'll have a baby within 3 years.
So you're thinking you got preparation
I've got time.
Okay, this is the date that I'm gonna quit smoking. This is when I'm gonna start doing this.
Who in the hell would have thought 3 months later this bitch was knocked up? What the hell? Either dad's got super sperm or I am fertile myrtle. It's bullshit.
Good. That's good.
Whatever it was, I was not prepared.
Well, anyways, so we should probably get back to the case. Okay. Anywho, so I was saying how kudos to her for being 14 years old.
Stepping up, doing what she needed to do. Superstar, rock star, all of the above.
What else did I have my 2 cents to put into?
You wanted to say something about the rape, I think. That it wasn't just a robbery. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Why? If it was just a robbery.
If he knew that the stereo was there, they knew the schedule of the family. And I'm sorry, a stereo is not worth a human being's life. But if that's what you were there to do and just surprised by her presence being there, why rape her?
And why kill her? I agree.
I agree
100%.
I wish these people.
Opportunity?
No, I just wish these people that were doing break-ins and doing thievery, whatever, that they would realize that going to jail for theft and burglary, even rape, is a lesser sentence than murder.
Right? And is it worth it?
It's not worth it.
For the love of God, it's not worth it because you're gonna get caught. I don't care how careful you think you are. You are going to get caught. Technology has far outsmarted the criminals. In this day and age,
it's really rare to have a cold case nowadays.
I mean, it may go cold, until they find the right
For a
lead
little bit.
or whatever, or if their prints and their DNA isn't in the system, it might take a hot minute, but sooner or later, karma train is going to plow you down. So just stop. If you want a stereo, get a freaking job like the rest of us and go get a stereo.
And that poor baby. How old was the baby when
2.
she passed away? So 2. She's not even gonna know her mom.
She doesn't know her mom, and what a beautiful girl. I seen her on a documentary, Grown Up.
So,
oh wow.
So how would, I'm assuming grandparents have custody of her?
Yeah, Gloria.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's 23, 24.
Right, but at the time.
At the time, yes.
To not know, that's an interesting question. Would you want to hide that from your child until they were old enough to understand, or would you from the get-go still say, nope, I'm Nana, this is your mom, have a picture, she's
in heaven,
up in the sky,
yeah,
dancing with the stars? What would you do?
I would stick with that. I personally would stick with that, because what a shell shock to all of a sudden maybe think that your Nana was your mom, and then 20 years later find out that she's not. How much resentment would they hold for not knowing the truth the whole time?
Right.
And I'm only assuming that Gloria, this is an assumption, I'm assuming that Gloria probably took Emily to visit her mom's gravesite and all that, and put flowers there, and to remind her of who her mom was,
and tell stories
and
about
tell stories, maybe pictures, videos. This is a total assumption, because just the vibe that I got, the kind of person that Gloria is, she would not let her daughter's memory die with Emily. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that she's the kind of person that would have kept it alive.
I agree.
So but that is based on nothing other than my opinion and my assumption of what I gathered from Gloria, the kind of person that she is. And the daughter is a beautiful girl. She's grown up. She's amazing.
I wonder how she's doing.
She's doing well.
Is she?
Yes. In one documentary, so there's documentaries on this. There's actually a 48 hours documentary, and there's also a documentary on unusual suspects.
That would make sense.
I'm trying to think of the episodes in the season. I think 48 Hours was season 27, episode 24. And I believe that Unusual Suspects was season 6, episode 1. Don't quote me though, because I'm going off the top of my head. And she was in the 48 Hours documentary. And she's all grown up. And she kind of stated that she thought that her mom would be more than just her mom, and probably her friend and her best friend.
Oh,
she misses her mom.
Stop.
I mean, I can't stop. It's reality, you know. But she has become an amazing young lady.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. So, I don't know.
I hope she has like some memory of her mom.
I think she vaguely does, and she did say that she didn't remember. In fact, in the interview, Rodney said that he didn't remember seeing or hearing Emily, which is awesome, because
who knows what he would have done.
So yes, she could have become another victim. So that, I'm thankful for that part of it. But this whole case sucks ass. I mean, that this is just another, it's just another person taken that would have been an asset to society, made something of her life. It just, it's so senseless and so stupid. A freaking piece of stereo equipment. In fact, I think it was an equalizer or something. Something freaking obscenely absurd. Just dumb. Like, Seriously. If she surprised you, then play dumb and say, "Oh, I was looking for JP. I thought he was here."
Yeah.
Why rape in the first place? If it was a robbery, why are you raping her?
Right.
Opportunity?
Uh,
Are you sadistic back there somewhere and it's very thankful that somebody finally caught you? I don't know.
I don't know. Or maybe it was premeditated and he used the stereo as an excuse.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
That is the pickles. That's the whole deal. We will never know. I got a
Jesus.
driver. I got a DD. I'm good. Just, I don't know.
I don't like it.
I don't like it, not one bit of this. But I thought it was, when I found this case, I wasn't going to do it because it was a cold case for so long. And I thought, do you really want to go down that rabbit hole? But then when I dug into it a little deeper and found out what kind of person Amy was and how she overcame so many obstacles at the age of 14, I'm like, this is an inspiring girl.
Mm-hmm.
She may be in her grave, but how many people can she inspire from us putting her story out there?
Right.
How inspiring. I mean, yeah, she screwed up and got pregnant. But did she, or was it meant to be? Because obviously she stepped into that motherhood role with just amazing capabilities.
Right.
She stepped in and just did the damn thing.
Yeah. I mean,
So if she did that, what could she have accomplished with the rest of her life?
right.
She probably would have just, that's the whole thing. We'll never know. That son of a bitch took that away from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that I got to see a piece of her life through this story, but I'm sad that her story ended when it did.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It
breaks
should have never.
My heart. And
Shouldn't
it
have.
breaks my heart to put myself in Gloria's shoes, to walk in on what she had to see, because she can never erase that from her mind.
Oh,
You
absolutely
can never
not.
unsee
That's her daughter.
that trauma, ever.
No. No amount of therapy could help that.
No.
Therapy is a great thing. Don't get me wrong.
But you can't unsee that.
But you literally, it's engraved.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow.
I have a funny. So are we ready to get off the case and just shoot the shit?
Well, I think we've been shooting the shit for 15 minutes.
We're going to shoot the shit just a little bit more. Totally busted my farrier today.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, I was not aware that the farrier had a toilet.
So for those of you that don't know, a farrier is a person that trims horses' hooves.
And out of respect, I am not going to say our farrier's name. Love you to death.
We're calling you out.
We're calling you out. My horses love you even more than I do.
Oh, I know. When he does my horse, Tango, he's always nibbling on his hat, his back, his ears.
He tried to nibble him today.
Imagine that.
But anyway, I was not. So a couple pedicures ago, he blew a tire. Yeah. And it was a total train wreck. Mm-hmm. So I was headed out. Me and the hubby were headed out today to catch the horses, because today was pedicure day before we did this episode. And all of a sudden we came upon the trailer and the truck pulled over on the side of the road. And I'm like, oh my God, is he okay? I mean, I went into panic mode thinking he blew a tire. He's hurt. The first thing I did was look and make sure that he wasn't slumped over. I mean, because Sylvan pulled, it's just instincts kick in. Right. I go to the worst. I'm a mom. I go to the worst scenario. So I'm looking to make sure there's nobody in the pickup and he's not slumped over. And I'm yelling, "Are you okay?" I said his name. "Are you okay?" And,
Nothing.
Apparently I did. Yes.
He didn't say
Apparently,
anything?
I did get an answer back, but the wind was blowing and our pickup was running. So I couldn't hear him say, I'll meet you at the farm. And
Oh,
yes. And
no.
the hubby goes, well, should I get out and
Was he
check?
in the pickup?
No. And so the hubby says, should I get out and check on him? And I said, well, yeah, get out, go check. I did not know that he has a bathroom and a sink and everything else, water and soap. Just happens that our wonderful pedicure man was taking a bathroom break. And my husband walked in on that.
Oh. Mid?
No, I believe britches were up at the time that my husband walked in, but it still brought out a wonderful laugh. And our wonderful pedicure man did tell the husband that he laughed all the way from the bathroom break to the farm. Laughed all the way. So
Oh,
that's my
my
funny for the day.
Lanta. That's a good one.
Yep, I
That's a
will
good one.
never stop to help him alongside the road again. I will never worry again when he's parked on the side of the road because now I know he has a bathroom in the damn
as long
trailer.
as he's not inside the pickup. If
I
you
did.
don't see him in the pickup, he's most likely in the trailer, and that's just a no.
So we pulled up alongside the pickup, and that's the first thing I did. I sat up in my chair and I was looking over to make sure he wasn't slumped over, which he's too young to slump over, but you never know. He could have a
you never
widowmaker,
know.
you know. So that jumped in my head first and foremost because I go to the worst case scenario.
Poor farrier.
Oh gosh, no, it brought out a giggle in him. So
At least he's a good sport about it.
Oh, awesome!
He's so cool.
The first thing I said, well, I'm glad my husband checked on you and not me.
Yeah, that would have been.
What if the britches wouldn't have been up?
Oh God!
Because I'm assuming there's not a bathroom door in there. It's just
I don't know. I've never seen inside his trailer.
I'm going to check it out next time he comes.
Me too.
Yeah. Just warning you now, not going to say your name. We're checking out your trailer next time.
I got a question.
Yes.
Did you listen to me and the hubby's episode?
I did. And I thought you guys did absolutely wonderful, but he's fired because he's not me. Do you guys have any idea how much I missed it though? Because I was sick.
And then we had
Dad's surprise birthday party that we couldn't announce.
We waited another week.
Yeah.
So you haven't been here for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Do you know how much I miss this in my life?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I haven't been here in a year. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy to be back.
What did you think about the episode?
Oh my gosh. Wow. It really makes me reevaluate the bumps in the night. But I have to tell you what you're sorry in advance. Your dumbass dad did to me the other night.
What did he do?
Oh,
I can only
my gosh.
flip and imagine.
It wasn't last night. It was Friday night. Okay, so Friday was a long day at work for me. Uh-huh. I don't know what is going on, but my days have been popping up to 10 to 13 hours lately.
Really?
Yes. I didn't get off work until 6 o'clock yesterday. And the day before it was like 5:30. So I was really burnt out. But there was a birthday party for somebody out at the golf course. Uh-huh. And we were supposed to go. And Dad calls me, and I'm still working. And he calls me at work, and he's like, well, are you going? And I'm like, I don't think I can. I'm just fried. I'm not getting done. It's late, and I just don't think I can. Plus, I had to work the next day. Mm-hmm. And so I told Dad, I said, hey, ask our daughter if she wants to watch scary movies with me and snuggle on the couch, because that's kind of the mood I was in, and I know she loves scary movies. So she wanted to watch Five Nights at Freddy's, which I've never seen.
Yeah. Well, but I don't.
And she calls it FNAF. Apparently, I'm old school and Five Nights at Freddy's. So we watched this movie, and it was pretty good, a little creepy, not gonna lie. And so we decided to pick out another one. Well, I didn't know. See, The Exorcist from 1973 was one of my favorite movies. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I didn't watch it in 1973, but later in life, it was a scary movie. And I didn't know that they did a remake of The Exorcist, and it popped up, and I'm like, hey, Nova, let's watch this one this time. And she's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Because she likes that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I warned her, I said, hey, I got to get up at 5 a.m. I'm probably going to fall asleep on you, but let's start
shit.
this movie. Okay.
Oh God.
So we started, and I fall asleep in the middle of the exorcism. I'm not going to lie. I just crashed.
Yep.
In the middle of
Did
the
you have a
night.
little help?
Yes, of course I did. Is there any denying that? What?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. So I could have swore, and I questioned Dad the next day. I could have swore when Dad came home, I was passed out on the couch. She was still up. I could have swore somebody ran their hand down my arm, and I sat up like I was going to kill somebody because in my head I thought, watching a scary movie when I'm falling asleep, I thought somebody was trying to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Dad told me I was dreaming and I was imagining things, but I think he's lying to me. I don't know for sure.
Did you wake up and see Dad?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure because
What
I
does
was
Nova say?
medicated.
What is?
She didn't say shit. She's always in her own little world, She's got a boyfriend now. You really think she pulls her nose out of her phone to talk to us?
True.
So that was interesting. Other than that, Hazel hasn't come home yet. We walked the wilderness park. We walked around the block. I call her name every time I go outside, and she is still not home. Eli's upset. That's the first thing he asked me, is Hazel home yet? And I said, no. So we don't know, but
Another Sally story.
I hope not. I hope not. So are we done bantering? You have any more questions about the case? Anything you want to share?
No, it'll be a year and 3 months.
Already? Wow. Really? She hasn't been gone that long. It seems like just yesterday.
June. So 2 months. June 27th.
Soon.
June 21st, I'm sorry.
Somebody is going to open the door and be dumb, and she's going to escape, and she's
No,
going to
it
come
was
home.
July 21st.
She's going to come home. I am not giving up. Just like I'm not giving up on Hazel. She's been gone for 3 days, and I'm not giving up.
I wouldn't give up on Hazel, but I've
come to terms with Sally. Do you think coyotes? But she was really smart.
The day she went missing was a thunderstorm. So maybe she didn't hear anything coming up on her. I don't know.
Sally Six Toes.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a bitch. So you think we're done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm in tears.
Don't.
I miss my kitty.
I know you do. Do you want me to get you another kitty?
No.
Do you want a squirrel?
No.
Do you want a raccoon?
No.
Do you want a skunk?
No.
Do you want a hairless cat?
Yes.
I don't have that much money, but I would buy you one. But that one can't go outside because it's hairless.
But it's so weird. My other cat, Smokey, she's kind of like stepped into Sally's paws.
Oh.
Like
she knows.
She lays on my chest. She snuggles me all night.
Oh, stop crying. You're going to make me bawl like a bitch.
I know.
Stop.
But she like snuggles me all night. Even when I'm showering, she's in the bathroom with me. She's everywhere. I miss my Sallykins though.
I know. Maybe Sallykins is influencing her.
Maybe.
I had something else. Oh gosh, stop crying. You're killing me, Styles. Oh.
Day two.
Back with Hazel. As much as I thought that gray cat hated Hazel, Hazel or Ashes and Rain have been looking for her.
Really?
Ashes, who never comes down in the dog room and never goes to the sunroom, has been going down there and walking the perimeter looking.
Mm.
And Rain, I almost said Hallie, Rain
Oof.
is looking for her too. Every time she goes outside, she's looking for her. She's went to all the chairs that Hazel usually sleeps in, and she's looking for Hazel.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, and how do you explain to your cat and your Doberman that Hazel
Went outside.
accidentally got outside?
She's not locked downstairs or anything.
Oh no, we went through every inch of the house.
Oh, okay.
So, but in the meantime, if we're done, please leave us a rate and review. It helps other like-minded crime lovers find us. If you'd like to contact us for case suggestions, constructive criticism, emphasis on constructive, or for any reason, you can do so by emailing us at minersofmayhem@gmail.com or via our Facebook page. If you don't follow us on Facebook, you can type Miners of Mayhem in the search bar and you will find us. And along on our Facebook page, we put up case photos and links to our YouTube channel and links to our episodes on Spotify. Brianna, where can you find our YouTube channel?
I think it's just www.youtube.com/Miners of Mayhem or at Miners of Mayhem.
Okay. In the meantime, please refrain from being pond scum. Life
Ooh.
is.
We should put the YouTube link in our Facebook bio
I might be able to do that.
and our like Spotify link.
Oh, hats off to you Canadians, by the way. Holy, they are pushing catching up with the United States for downloads.
No way. I
Canada
haven't
is
checked lately.
on it. Yay, our northern neighbors. We
I love
you.
Canadians.
I do too. So in the meantime, please refrain from being pond scum. Life is too short, and I can confirm. And keep your happy asses safe out there. Until next week, bye.
Bye.